Listen, to me, I think any publicity for Ultima Online is good, whether it's Outlands, whether it's Broadsword, whether it's some random server out there. I think it's all good. This new Legacy, I think they announced it back in like 2019, I think maybe earlier than that. They did announce it as a classic server, taking it old school and stuff like that. They really didn't give much information out. They were very kind of driplets of it, and then there was delays and things like that. But they, they announced there was a trailer not too long ago. There was a beta sign up last week. I think it was maybe a week before or something. And then today, 7 hours ago, they released this new Legacy gameplay trailer. And I don't know. I just I want to scope it out with you guys. I want to get what you guys' opinions are. Feel free to say stuff in chat during. I'm not going to respond to it yet, but I'm just curious. Hey, hopefully it turns out really good and it brings a lot of old players back to Ultima Online. Whether it be retail, Outlands, whatever. I think anything is good for Ultima. But anyways, let's check it out. Got the stones.
For the first time in more than half a century, a moongate has opened deep in the forests of Aklo. Strangers pour through hoping to forge a legacy to be remembered for generations to come. Are you with us? Let me take you on a journey through Ultima Online New Legacy, our new shard emphasizing a classic Ultima RPG experience. The world is different. In this Cesaria, Mondain was defeated, but the realm never united around a king, leaving the lands fractured, dangerous. You emerge through the strange moongate and are drawn towards a friendly bard. Your first choice is, what will your house name be? But choose wisely. Your house name will persist with all your characters in New Legacy. After you pick your house name, you'll notice the brand new quest objective system in New Legacy. This quest objective screen will both tell you what your current task is and also help navigate you in the right direction. Once we meet the mayor of Aklo,
very surprised. One thing I just want to say that how choppy it is on there. Like, I've gotten stubborn with how smooth everything is these days. You know what I mean? Like, look, I'm not trying to go into this and talk crap by any means. I really do. I want this to do extremely well. But I'm just so surprised that the technology is out there. It's done on free servers and just adapt some, like, from your peers, Ultima, like, or Broadsword, like, adapt from it, learn some of the technology and implement it into your fucking game. Sorry, I didn't want to cuss, and I really don't want to talk bad about it, but that is, like, the biggest thing that baffles me so much. Anyways, let's keep.
He will give me a nice map and send me on quests to get to know the town. One of my stops is to the portrait artist to get my portrait painted. My paper doll sure is classic, but I think my portrait could look a little bit more like me.
That's really cool. I like that. That's good.
Make sure you talk to people in Aklo. They may have interesting things to tell you. It's been nice to see what's out there, but it's time to choose. At the Albatross Inn, you choose the path that will define your legacy. The Warriors Guild, the Arcana Circle, or the Crafting Guilds. Choose wisely, because some things can't be undone. I know my heart is full of fire. I want to fight. I'm choosing the Warriors Guild. Once selected, I see that I've got something new to wear, a metal sash, and also a new journal. This journal will record my heroic deeds as I advance through New Legacy, and the sash displays those awards to others. For now, both are empty, but let's remember to check back later. Now that I'm in the Warriors Guild, it's time to earn my keep. I've been told to go help Henrietta the librarian with the rats in her cellar. Not exactly the most legendary of quests, but we all start somewhere. Looks like this rat problem is pretty bad. The further in I go, the bigger they are. This is a milestone quest, and you'll notice that with each successful quest completed, my skills are raising. No rest for the weary, as my next task is to deal with a little undead situation in the Aklo Cemetery. These skeletons are no match for Bill the Bold. Further into the crypt, I find a cavern of falling rocks and an ancient reliquary. After touching the reliquary, a force of skeletons and zombies appear, trying to destroy the tomb. This kind of point defense mechanism is new to Ultima Online. It's been a tough fight, and the tomb took a beating, but Bill the Bold prevailed. After exiting...
I like the name Bill the Bold. Bill the Bold. That's such a good name. I hope that there's multiple characters running around named Bill the Bold. That's so cool.
In the tomb, I meet the ancient spirit where I get my reward, a sword and a shield worthy of the hero. As I touch the convergence catalyst, I have a choice to make between branching narratives before entering the wider world. The path of the warrior or the path of the ranger. I've still got the fire in my heart, so it's the path of the warrior for me. But don't worry, if you're looking for something more, there will be opportunities later on to learn animal taming, play instruments as a bard, learn the ways of the assassin, or unlock the ability to customize your skills as you see fit. We've now left Aklo behind and have entered in the wider world. But look, my deeds in Aklo have been...
Okay, that was an important part because it makes it sound like the quests are how you gain your skills and stuff, but then it says, or the ability to customize them. So I was a little worried there that it was just a story-driven, which wouldn't be bad, really, I guess, for a quick playthrough or something. A story-driven, like, locked in your skills kind of thing, but I guess not.
Recorded in my journal under that handsome portrait. Jumping ahead a bit, in Ultima Online New Legacy, skill gain is rewarded by completing quests. The daily quest system allows you to choose your own adventure, earning skill for defending resources, attacking brigands, and more. Do enough of these daily quests, and your character will advance in the main storyline. Also new is an expanded PvP system that gets your guild into the action fast. I've been adventuring for a little while, and I've collected a ton of interesting...
Two things to unpack there. One, let's start with the skill questing thing. That's interesting. I'm not necessarily opposed to it in the fact that, look, right now, the game is based around macroing and bashing a training dummy, right? And no matter what version you play. I think Quest is a pretty cool way to do it. I do think it would get kind of monotonous after you do it a couple times. You know, just like leveling in World of Warcraft, it's kind of like, all right, like let's get there. You know what I mean? And then also the PvP system, that looked very instance to me. I'm curious if that was just like a side thing for instanced PvP, kind of like Town Struggles are, Dungeon Flashpoint, Stygian Rifts, you know, like Outlands has, or if the only form of PvP is going to be instanced. That's, I don't know.
Loot. Veterans of Ultima Online will remember the excitement of finding named vanquishing or powerful items back in the day. This system is back in New Legacy as item identification reveals a weapon or armor piece's true worth. My time in the Warriors Guild has honed my skills, and I've been dispatched to the pride of the Navy, the Courageous, to fight off these dread pirates. Experiences like the fight aboard the Courageous punctuate major milestones in New Legacy, and there are these kinds of newly crafted experiences for each path you take. If fighting isn't for you, take up the role of the crafter. Swing a smith's hammer to forge weaponry for those brave enough to challenge Garthok the champion. Meanwhile, the Arcana Circle of Moonglow bends their power against an evil cult of spellcasters. Will you unravel the plans of the Shadow Reavers and reveal their deceit? Will you weave threads of magic or outfit the Lyceum with cloth and leather to stop their sinister plot? Or will you take up the bow and put your tracking skills to the test as you uncover the source of the demonic fiends ravaging the lands near Scarabray? Will you instead pick up your axe and outfit the Rangers League with the tools to vanquish this demonic presence for good? With the new resource bank, harvesting resources and crafting is fast and fun. As the seasons in New Legacy turn, different activities become available. From the pan pertaining...
A resource bank, so it just goes straight to your bank? That's interesting. That's interesting.
Indian Fair to a regatta hosted by the Moonglow Yacht Club. New Legacy also offers a revamped housing system, an updated guild experience, and more. Bill the Bold has quests.
I don't think there will be any PK miners if they just go straight to your bank. I mean, obviously this is a trailer, so maybe I don't fully understand it or what have you, but there won't be a reason to kill miners. So if you're a harvester, then you know what I mean. It's pretty. But again, this might all be Trammel too, right?
Conquered and had a ton of classic Ultima fun. But will it be enough to forge his legacy before time runs out? Join us in Ultima Online New Legacy. Find out more at uo.com.
Huh. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Like, I don't know. I mean, it seems like different storylines for whatever role you choose, right? Or maybe you can do different storylines in it. I'll say it's really interesting. I mean, I'm very hopeful. I hope that it does very well. I really do. I don't know. I'm curious of how much of a time sink it is, right? I mean, it might be something I would want to play just to do. I'm not saying that it would divert my channel by any means, but it might be something to play, off stream or on whatever, but mostly off. It's very interesting. It's very interesting. There's a lot there. I'm curious to find out more about it. The questions that I had on that, the questions that you guys had on that. I will say that really gives me an even further appreciation for what we have here on Outlands. Yeah, it really does. It really does. And not to say that what that wasn't bad, okay, or was bad. I think it's good, and again, I think any content for Ultima, especially Ultima Retail, is a fucking amazing thing. It's a good thing because they're kind of starved for it. The developers don't do a whole bunch for it. They do some. The EMs do, quite a bit of events. Event managers, quite a bit of events regularly, and I think that's a really good thing. But beyond that, it doesn't really seem like they get much support from the actual developers and the game itself, just from the outside looking in, right? I mean, somebody that actually plays retail, even though I see, it's pretty doom and gloom from other content creators and stuff like that, but and their forums and whatnot. But either way, I hope this is kind of a turning point for Ultima Online Retail, and I hope that this takes off really well. That's what I can say about that for sure. Anyways, it's interesting. It's interesting. I'll be following the news on it. Like I said, I'll be following the news for it.